Yonatan, Polaard. I would just like to ask you something about getting closer to Judaism. When, how, what made you?
אקטואליה יהודית עולה קומה עם טוב פלוס. הפלוס שלכם, עבורכם, בזכותכם. לדעת יותר את האמת כולה. בערוץ עצמאי, לאומי, יהודי, בחוויית צפייה שלא פגשתם. הצטרפו היום.
I grew up in a typically confused Jewish household in America. We were traditional, and my mother, Alei Shalom, had a glatt kosher home, but we ate out. Everything. And we drove to Shul, the Beit Knesset, parked around the corner, of course, and walked with everybody else. But there were certain things that I knew I shouldn't do. What were they? Lo chazer, no pork, no meat and milk. You don't marry a non-Jew. There were things like this. And daven. Once, twice, maybe 3 times a day. Okay. Over the years, because of the nature of my work, I went off the derech, seriously off the derech. I never ate pork. I mean, there were important things in my life that I didn't do. And I tried to go to a Beit Knesset quietly so no one would see me. And one day, after I was sentenced, well, actually, very shortly after I was arrested, the Americans understood I wasn't going to talk. And so they renditioned me. That's what it's called. They disappeared me to a facility, and I don't know where it was. Yeah, up in the mountains, because my ears popped and it was cold. And they wanted to know who my team was. And I was educated by my parents never to moser another Jew, ever. So I didn't say anything. And after 6 weeks, my back was broken in 4 places. I have a plate in my head. My joints were broken. My back was broken in 4 places. I was raped for 6 weeks. A rabbi at Merkaz Harav asked me what I was davening for at the time. And it struck me as odd because I'd never thought of that. But I was asking God for the first time in my life for a favor. That I should either die quickly or that I should keep my mouth shut. And Baruch Hashem, he honored one of those requests that I made of him. Later, when I went to prison initially, I still hadn't talked. So there was a special prison they sent me to. I had never heard of it before. It was out in the middle of nowhere. And it was 150 meters down. My cell was 3 square meters. There were 31 other men down there. I never saw them. And I was told when I was about to descend that there are 2 ways of leaving. You can leave as an old man in a body bag, or you can talk. Okay, so they shut the door. And I had my first serious conversation with Hashem. And I said to him, I can't do this on my own. I need help. So if I stop doing these 5 bad things, and I start doing 5 appropriate things for an observant Jew, please save me. So time went on. Before I came down, I talked to the head of the prison, and he told me these terrible things that were awaiting me. My mind would work against me, everything bad that would happen in sustained isolation was going to happen to me. And I said, I don't think so. God runs the world. No, we'll see. He said, well, yes, we'll see. So after a while, the door opened, and I walked out, and the first thing I asked was, what year is it?
Year.
Year. And it was 7 years later. And I asked, are my mother and father alive? And they said, yes. And I looked down the hall and all the doors were open. And I said, what happened to them? They said, they all committed suicide. So I said, so I'm the lone survivor. And they said, yes. I said, Baruch Hashem. First time I ever said it. So when we came up, literally into the light, that same commander was there. He was a Goliath. He was huge. And sometimes, Dr. Kedar, I have a problem with time and place. Yeah. This was the wrong time and this was the wrong place to look up at him and say, you see, God runs the world, not you. So he knocked me out. I lost a tooth. And when I woke up, it was the sweetest pain, Al Kiddush Hashem, I had ever had in my life. But that was my return to the derech. That was my return to the path. And the next prison was even worse. It was a killing field. And there, God was beside me the whole time. Esther, Alei Shalom, my wife, who was my morah, taught me about fear of heaven. And she told me, as long as you stay loyal to Hashem and understand that Yirat Shamayim is the only thing you have to be afraid of. You have to be afraid of heaven to do the right thing. She said, you'll survive. No matter how big the person is or what weapon he had, or if you're starving or you're sick. All of these things, by the way, that I experienced over the next 23 years. She said, as long as you have Yirat Shamayim, you'll live. And she was right.
אקטואליה יהודית עולה קומה עם טוב פלוס. הפלוס שלכם, עבורכם, בזכותכם. לדעת יותר את האמת כולה. בערוץ עצמאי, לאומי, יהודי, בחוויית צפייה שלא פגשתם. ועכשיו, בטוב פלוס. המתפכחים, הסיפורים האישיים על המעבר מהשמאל לימין הפוליטי. המפורסמים שגילו את היהדות. על המחיר והרווח, על האמת והסוד, שהם לא ידעו שהם לא יודעים. הצטרפו היום.